And welcome to today's session of Hey Miss Lloyd. I am Tonya Robinson Lloyd, and I've been asked to say my credentials. So I've been working in the field of mental health for about 15 years. I'm a licensed mental health professional with the state of New Jersey. I'm a Caribbean clinical psychologist, master's level. I am verified with Psychology Today as a counselor. And today I am going to answer the question, what are some good ways to deal with stress? I'm also the author of Stress Less for students, parents, and teachers. I'd like to start today by, of course, having an operational definition. And right before doing that, I have to thank Micayla. She's from the 9th grade. Emilia and Micayla wanted to ask this question. Thank you both very much for contributing to our Hey Miss Lloyd segment. Operationally define stress. Hans Seyle is known as the father of stress, and he came up with the General Adaptation Syndrome, GAS. Today we'll be looking at his 3 stages of stress. Stage 1, the alarm. Stage 2, resistance. Stage 3, exhaustion. Now, we want to look at the alarm because it's really us as human beings viewing the event as threatening, right? We view an event as threatening. Our bodies, according to Hans Seyle, the brain, emotions, and the body, they're all connected. And so the brain, through the eyes, of course, or through the sensory, for those of us who do not see, perhaps will feel threatened. Right? Now, when we feel that threat, the body experiences tension, right? Neck pain, back pain. I used to just crack my neck, right? Neck, back, the jaws, we're clenching the jaws, right? We're breathing heavily or we're not breathing at all. Right now, the emotions, what emotions do you think we feel when we're stressed? We're feeling anger, maybe disgust, enraged, frustrated, hopeless, trapped, right? So these are some of the emotions we would put in a bag of stress. Now, mind you, it is important for me to note that we have 2 types of stress. We have eustress, we're getting married, we just put a book out, right? That's good stress. But good stress could also let us feel that tension. Today, we're focusing on distress. How could we cope with distress? We're perceiving a threat. We are aroused physiologically. We are feeling the distress in our brain, our thoughts, everything's firing. Cortisol, the stress hormone is being flooded in our brains. We're really feeling overwhelmed. Right now, we're alarmed by it. We try to resist it, right? We try to do all that we could to overcome it. Maybe Micayla's question is about good stress, right? So we start to think of the negative things we could do to cope, to resist it. We could deny that it exists altogether, right? This is not really stressing me out. Everything will be fine, but it's not the truth, right? We could try using drugs and alcohol, right? A lot of us try that. It's going to feel good for a little bit, but we have to wake up and still deal with whatever we perceive to be the stressor, right? And so today we really want to get into how can I just, based on all of that, because some of these resistance techniques to try to cope with stress leads us to the third part or the third stage of feeling exhausted. We don't have energy. We don't have the drive to do what we need to do. And we are pretty much in a state of perhaps languishing or depression. And that brings us into the second part of today's little course or segment. Cognitive behavioral therapy. That's our model used for the Resilient Stars or Warriors program, at least part of the model. And it looks at connecting our thoughts to, I'm just going to put this down a bit. It looks at connecting our thoughts to our feelings and our actions or behaviors. And again, how we see an event, right? And so I want you to picture the last time you got stressed out. And please feel free to leave a comment below. The last time you felt stressed out, what was the situation? Right? Let's take something simple. You got into an argument with your best friend over something that you both know, was petty, to use that word, right? So you got into an argument. Your thoughts are, she gets me so mad, or he gets me so mad. Or maybe your thoughts are, I feel disrespected. They don't have respect for me. Now, notice how those thoughts start to spiral down, connecting all of the other negative thoughts and events that have occurred in your life. So the idea of coping better with stress would really be coping or having healthier thought patterns and recognizing immediately when the thoughts start to spiral into a negative pattern. How do we do that? How do we recognize or become more, intentional about the thoughts that we have, the thoughts that we're producing? We start by, number one, tracking these thoughts, right? I remember Pastor Bernard, St. Louis, Pastor St. Louis at the university that I went to. He had us do a negative and a positive journal for 30 days. And what an eye-opener that was for me. I had no idea that I was walking around thinking so many negative thoughts, right? But the exercise made me aware, one, because I had to track these thoughts at the end of every day. It literally took me 2 minutes, right? What was the negative thought that I had for the day? Then I had to look at the positive thought, and I observed that I was able to take the same negative event and find a positive way at looking at it. Life-changing, right? So special thanks to Dr. St. Louis, Pastor St. Louis, for that exercise. Secondly, improve critical thinking skills, right? And for the Resilient Stars / Warriors program, we would list the situation. We would list how we feel about the situation, and we would rate it. So for example, let's use a situation where you fell out with your friend, right? So we put situation, fell out with friend. Feelings, annoyed, angry, disappointed, and perhaps 10 out of 10 for all three. Okay, and next we would look at thoughts, negative thoughts about the event. Negative thoughts would be things like felt disrespected, right? Now we get into the most important part, brainstorming how to resolve the situation. Any solution is fine. We're not going to discredit the solutions, right? So if you come up with beat my friend up, hey, a little bit messy, but we're going to look at the pros and the cons to see if that would be the best ultimate decision to go with. How do we know which is the best ultimate, solution? Obviously, the one that has the most pros and has the most positive impact on all people involved, our friend included, right? So we can say beat our friend up. We might say, okay, nope, too many cons, let's throw that one out, right? And we could say, let's give the relationship some space until we both calm down, and then we could talk again, right? We could see the pros and cons and come up with a choice there. Or we may say, let's just block our friend on all social media platforms and never talk to them again. That's an option as well, right? But we want to select again the option with the most pros. And finally, we want to be intentional about gratitude. Man, I am sure we can all remember how good it feels to be thanked, right? How good it feels to give thanks, right? Someone was just so thoughtful, right? My husband made me breakfast this morning, and it was so good. I just, inhaled it, right? And I expressed my gratitude, right? So just getting in the habit of being intentional about our gratitude, right? Saying thank you, expressing it more. And every time we want to complain, and I'm speaking to you and me, by the way, every time we want to complain, being able to just stop and say, what's the lesson in this? What can I learn from this? And how can I approach this in a more positive way that would get me more positive, helpful results? Okay, and we've come to the end of today's segment. Hey, Miss Lloyd. Feel free to check my book out on Amazon, Stress Less, written for students, parents, and teachers. And please check out our website, www.rlrgresilientstars.com. Special thanks to you for listening. I look forward to your comments, and please hit that subscribe button for more. Hey, Miss Lloyd. Bye for now.